Are there moments in your life when you feel blue? Or when you're taking life too seriously? Or when you just feel nothing? Sometimes, what we need is a sign to show us how to be happy, just like the man in this video. The man in the video learned to open himself to others. He let himself be of service to others. It became the meaning he was looking for. Researches show that socializing and establishing meaning to our life are some of the ways to foster happiness and well-being. We owe it to ourselves to seek for ways to be happy and to improve our well-being. The Psychological Testing Unit of the Guidance Center welcomes you to the interpretation of your personality test results. After watching this video, we hope you will gain a better understanding of your well-being based on several factors. If you have questions along the way, just list them down and send it to us after watching this interpretation video. The PERMA profiler measures the 5 foundations of well-being: positive emotion, engagement, relationship, meaning, and accomplishment. Before we proceed to your scores, let us first look into the definition of the following. What is well-being and psychological well-being? Generally, well-being is not just the absence of disease or illness. It is a complex combination of a person's physical, mental, emotional, and social health factors. It is strongly linked to happiness and life satisfaction, how you feel about yourself and your life. Psychological well-being refers to optimal psychological experience and functioning. It can be derived from each of these 5 building blocks to varying degrees: positive emotion, engagement, relationships, meaning, and accomplishment. For example, a person may experience higher well-being through promoting positive relationships, while another person may experience it through fostering more meaning in his or her life. There are many different routes to well-being and eventually to flourishing. A good life for one person is not necessarily a good life for another. What is flourishing? Flourishing is marked by high levels of well-being or maximal well-being. Flourishing is not a trait or a characteristic, because it's not something that you either have or don't have. Anyone can flourish, but it will likely require some effort to get there. It is a myth that mental illness and maximal well-being are 2 bipolar ends of the mental health spectrum. The reality is that one can be diagnosed with mental illness but still flourish, and one can be diagnosis-free but still languish. The PERMA aids flourishing. These are descriptive, not prescriptive. It does not tell people what choices to make or what to value, but it will help you make more informed choices to live a more fulfilling life that is aligned with your values and interests. Interpretation of scores. Now let's take a look into your scores in the following: positive emotion, negative emotion, engagement, relationships, meaning, accomplishment, and then your overall well-being. If your score in the factor is 9 and above, it means that you are very high functioning in that area. The factor may greatly contribute to your overall well-being. However, it may be dysfunctional at some point, especially when other areas suffer. 8 to 8.9. It means that you are high functioning and highly adaptive in that area. Your goal is to maintain that. The factor also highly contributes to your overall well-being. 6.5 to 7.9. It means that you are normal functioning and adaptive in that area. Your goal is to maintain that, or you may still take steps to improve on the said factor, which may contribute to an increase of your well-being. 5 to 6.4. It means that you are suboptimal functioning in that area. You may be experiencing some difficulties in the said factor. Necessary actions may be done to help you improve in the said factor, thus increasing your well-being. Below 5. It means that you are languishing in that area. You are experiencing major difficulty, and this greatly affects not just your well-being, but your overall functioning. You may need to seek professional help. In terms of negative emotion, 0 to 1, very high functioning. 1.1 to 2.9, high functioning. 3 to 5, normal functioning. 5.1 to 6.5, suboptimal functioning. 6.6 and above, languishing. The first factor is positive emotion. It is more than happiness and smiling. It is having a positive view of one's past, present, and future from a constructive perspective. In everyone's life, there are highs and lows. Positive emotion is focusing on the highs of one's life, since focusing on the lows increases one's chances of developing depression. It involves acceptance of the past, regardless of how bad it was, and anticipating positively what the future holds. One's experience of positive emotion may be limited since it is partly heritable. It fluctuates within a range. Many people are, by disposition, low in experiencing positive emotion. We each have a happiness set point that is about 50% genetically determined. After most events of whatever magnitude, our levels of happiness return to baseline. It does not necessarily mean that the person should be happy 100% all the time, because that is impossible. But trying to achieve a positive emotion greatly affects many other aspects of life. Positive emotion comes from enjoyment. What is the difference between pleasure and enjoyment? Pleasure is connected to satisfying bodily needs for survival, such as thirst, hunger, and sleep, whereas enjoyment comes from intellectual stimulation and creativity. For example, when children complete a complex Lego car that requires their concentration, they might beam with joy and satisfaction from their work. Positive emotion is also manifested through one's optimism. Optimism is a form of positive emotion and is critical to building resilience. It is the belief that one will generally experience good outcomes in life. Aim to increase your positive emotion about the past by cultivating gratitude and forgiveness, the present by savoring physical pleasures and mindfulness, and the future by persevering with challenges and building hope and optimism. How to increase your positive emotion? Adapt a positive perspective as often as you can. Take time to find things you are grateful for in your life and reflect on what is going well and how you have contributed to those situations. Spend time with people that you care about. Do activities that you enjoy, such as hobbies or pastimes. Play with your pets or your friends. Listen to uplifting music that you love. Exercising can help raise your levels of positive emotions as well as keep you healthy. You may also contribute to the positive emotion of others. How to increase others' positive emotion. Perform simple gestures that will make others happy, such as congratulating a friend for his or her accomplishment and dropping a note of thanks or encouragement. The second factor is engagement. It is characterized by complete absorption and indistractability, being completely absorbed in an activity that you cannot be distracted. Lack of concern for outcomes or rewards. You do things because it's enjoyable and interesting rather than because of an outside incentive or pressure to do it, such as a reward or a deadline. Experience of time moving quickly. Instinctual feel, working with all your resources in harmony. Engagement produces an experience called flow. In the flow. Flow is a harmonious state of engaged activity that can be achieved with a balance between your skills and your goals. One fully deploys their skills, strengths, and attention for a challenging task in the pursuit of a clear goal with immediate feedback on progress toward the goal. The activity is so gratifying that it is its own reward, rather than for what they will get out of it. How to increase your engagement. Find activities that you love and or excel at and that engages you. Find new ways to practice those activities. Learn mindfulness techniques such as meditation, yoga, or Tai Chi. As you go about your daily activities, take time to savor every moment. Appreciate being in the now and be aware of how you use your time. Spend time in nature, watching, listening, and observing what happens around you. How to achieve flow. 1. Set clear goals. Flow is likely to occur when an individual is faced with a task that has clear goals that require specific responses. 2. Eliminate distractions. It's more difficult to experience flow if there are things in your environment competing for your attention. Reduce distracting things in your environment so you can fully focus on the task at hand. 3. Add an element of challenge. Flow also happens when a person's skills are fully involved in overcoming a challenge that is just about manageable. So, it acts as a magnet of learning new skills and increasing challenges. If challenges are too easy, one gets back to flow by doing more difficult tasks. If challenges are too great, one can return to the flow state by learning new skills. 4. Choosing something you enjoy. You aren't likely to achieve flow if you are doing something you truly dislike. Focus on trying to achieve flow while working on something you love. To increase others' engagement, encourage a person to do things he or she loves. The third factor is positive relationships. Relationships refer to many different interactions you have with others, your partner, friends, family, boss, colleagues, and/or your community. Relationships refer to feeling loved, supported, and valued by others. Healthy relationships are one of our basic needs. In positive psychology research, positive relationships show the most consistent and strong correlations with well-being. Social networks correlate with decreased mortality. Lack of social ties is a mortality risk factor as great as smoking or high blood pressure. Social ties correlate with healthy immune, cardiovascular, and endocrine functioning across 81 studies. Relationships correlate highly with happiness and life satisfaction. The experiences that contribute to well-being, such as great joy, meaning, laughter, a feeling of belonging, and pride in accomplishment, are often amplified through our relationships. Relationship promotes our survival and is central to adaptation. We are social beings from an evolutionary perspective. Positive relationships are those we are willing to invest into because we receive back something that positively supports us as human beings. The connection makes us feel good about ourselves and about the relationship. Human relationships can be viewed as bank accounts wherein every day we make deposits or withdrawals from our relationship accounts with each person in our lives. To keep an overall positive balance, we need to make regular positive deposits. This will ultimately help buffer the negatives that are bound to occur in relationships. For example, spending quality time with a loved one may produce a memory that each will cherish. In case there will be a conflict in the future, the good memory may serve as a reminder of the good in the relationship. There is what we call emotional capital. We need to ensure that we have a healthy store of positive deposits that can help us counteract impactful account withdrawals, which are the conflicts that you may have with the person you have a relationship with. The fourth factor is meaning. The need to feel that what we do is valuable and worthwhile. This involves belonging to and/or serving something that we believe is greater than ourselves. The search for meaning is an intrinsic human quality. In modern psychology, meaning exists as a concept for humans that it can be found in the world around us, and that we can create or uncover our own unique sense of meaning. The meaning of life is different to each and every one of us. Enhance your sense of purpose and meaning in life. Decide what you value most and commit to keeping these values in focus as you work, learn, love, and live. Do things that are fulfilling at work if you can and in your free time. Make sure you are living a life that is authentic to your values. Become involved in a cause or organization that matters to you. Spend time with people you really care about. Review your strengths. What are you really good at or really passionate about? Think about how you could apply these to your life. Be authentic. Embrace the real you. This may be pursued in various ways. Through your profession, a cause you are passionate about, such as care for the environment, a creative pursuit, a political cause, or a religious or spiritual belief. Moreover, meaning is the extent to which one's life is experienced as making sense, as being directed and motivated by valued goals, and as mattering in the world. If an individual finds that things are no longer making sense according to their systems of thought, these frameworks can be altered, scrapped, or replaced through the process of meaning-making. Meaning-making also involves reducing the stress and recovering from stressful events through finding meaning in suffering. It can be done through positive reappraisal, revising one's goals and seeking solutions to one's problems, or activating spiritual beliefs and experiences to help them survive their difficult experience, or even a change in one's perspective on the stressful event or the environment. These meaning-making processes can lead to discovered or enhanced meaning in many different forms, including the sense of having made sense or come to an understanding of why this stressful event happened, even if the why is simply things happen. Acceptance or coming to terms with the event. Reattributions and causal understanding or coming to a conclusion about the cause of the event. Perceptions of growth or positive life changes. Change global or overall beliefs about the way things are in the world. Change global or overall goals, such as abandoning unattainable goals or creating alternative goals. Restored or changed sense of meaning in life. The last factor is accomplishments or achievement. Having a sense of accomplishment means we have worked towards and reached our goals, achieved mastery over an endeavor, and had the self-motivation to complete what we set out to do. People pursue achievement, competence, success, and mastery for its own sake, not as a means to an end in a variety of domains, including the workplace, sports, games, hobbies, etc. Making realistic goals that can be met and just putting in the effort to achieve those goals can already give you a sense of satisfaction, pride, and fulfillment when you finally achieve those goals. It is subjective. Keep in mind that a sense of accomplishment while doing the same task can mean different things to different people. Acknowledge your goals and your sense of accomplishment, not compared to others' goals and accomplishments. Savor or relish in the moment. It is the ability to notice and appreciate experiences, events, and feelings. Simply the good in one's life. There are many times we experience good and memorable events, but we lack the consideration to lock them into a vault of great things we can re-experience over and over again. This also includes how we recognize what we have done by not downplaying our achievements in comparison to others, and by celebrating it in a way that gives us the ability to build on achievements and to recall the types of motivations and feelings we experienced from achievements and accomplishments. Appreciate your own accomplishments so others can appreciate you and your achievements too. The goals you create in life do not necessarily have to be long-term or have an astronomical bar height. The goals you attain, whether large or small, can contribute to your self-confidence, internal motivation, efficacy, or even resilience. Achievements and accomplishments are what we create for ourselves through attempting, engaging, and trying anything apart from what we already know how to do. Accomplishment helps you to spot the underlying patterns of your personal strengths and how they have contributed to your successes in life. How to foster accomplishment. Set yourself achievable goals. Goals don't have to be big. What strengths have you used to succeed in the past? Can they help you again? Look for ways to celebrate your achievements, with yourself as well as with others. If at first you don't succeed, try again. The different factors may matter to you more at different times than others. Think about your values and where you'd like to be. If you're happy with your profile, then keep doing things to proactively care for your mental health, aiming for good functioning in the long term. Remember, it's a marathon, not a sprint. The Depression, Anxiety, Stress Scale 21 results. The Depression, Anxiety, Stress Scale 21, or DASS 21, can give us insight into the presence, severity, and impact of the negative emotional states of depression, anxiety, and stress over the past week. However, DASS 21 is not used to conclude that you have a disorder. Other symptoms such as sleep, appetite, sexual disturbances, and suicidality in depression are not covered in DASS and should be assessed separately.
Further exploration through other assessment procedures or referral to a specialist is highly encouraged if one's result shows higher scores, such as mild, severe, and extremely severe in any of the three dimensions. Likewise, results that show lower scores or normal should not be used as a replacement for comprehensive clinical assessment. The first factor is depression. Your score in this factor reflects your experiences that may be symptoms of depression. Persistent feelings of severe unhappiness, uneasiness, and dissatisfaction. Having no expectations or being pessimistic about the future. For example, you ask yourself, why do I have to attend my classes when I would be failing them anyway? Perceiving life as meaningless or having no value. Being overly critical about and undervaluing oneself, ability, and achievements. For example, you tell yourself, nobody will ever love me because I'm broken. Lack of interest or involvement in activities, including activities you previously enjoyed. Being unable to experience enjoyment or satisfaction. Lack of motivation, energy, and initiative to do things. For example, you may have difficulty doing simple daily tasks like proper hygiene, such as showering, brushing your teeth, brushing your hair, and changing into clean clothes. You may also have the tendency to stay in your bed for longer periods of time. If you scored highly in this area, it may help to explore strategies that may help you cope with the possible symptoms of depression. Reaching out to your support system such as friends and family. This may be a good avenue to express your thoughts and feelings to people who make you feel safe and cared for if you are not ready to seek professional help. This will not just help unload pent-up emotions, but it will also make you feel heard. Moreover, it helps your friends and family understand you better and be aware of what they can do to help you when needed. Joining social activities to alleviate isolation and expose yourself to sunlight. Joining social activities, especially those that instigate purpose and meaning like volunteering, may help you steer away from isolation. Additionally, activities held outdoors expose you to sunlight. Being exposed to sunlight increases hormones that help you feel calm and focused and improve your mood. It also helps your body feel awake as a response to light exposure, further contributing to reducing feeling sluggish or wanting to stay in bed for longer periods of time. Engaging in physical activities like exercise help you produce happy hormones that trigger positive feelings and relaxation. Journaling may also help to remind yourself that there is still good that happens to you and around you. For example, you can write 3 things you're grateful for each day, or write the highlights of your day. The second factor is anxiety. Your score in this factor reflects your experiences that could perhaps be symptoms of anxiety. Physiological symptoms like awareness of dryness of the mouth, sweating, hyperventilation, increased heart rate, skeletal muscle tension like shaky hands or trembling, and others in situations that the population deems normal. Escape, cautious or avoidant behaviors. Out of proportion fear. Excessive vigilance in preparation for future danger. For example, preparing 20 blue books for one exam. If your scores show a higher result in this area, you might want to try the following. Practicing different activities that remind you that you are still in control when you feel anxious. Breathing exercises help you become conscious of your breathing and regulate your nervous system, encouraging your body to become more relaxed. Grounding techniques. For example, you can enumerate 5 things you can see, 4 things you can touch, 3 things you can hear, 2 things you can smell, and 1 thing you can taste. You may also find other grounding techniques available online. Meditating activities. For example, yoga. listening to music, having long walks, looking at sceneries, gardening, painting, completing a puzzle, and others. Learning what triggers your anxiety through journaling may also help alleviate your anxieties. Write and describe the events that are currently making you feel anxious. Keep in mind that most of the time, it is the anticipation of the future that makes you anxious and not what is currently happening. As you read and reflect on your concerns, explore your options. Could things be different? Can you make your situation better? Can you change your thoughts about it? Ask yourself questions that challenge your thoughts, like, how likely is it that this will happen? How do I know? If what I fear occurs, is it possible that things will not be too bad after all? Is there something I can learn from it if it actually happens? Writing and challenging your thoughts can help you relieve anxiety. It helps you see that things are less likely to happen and they are not as bad as you think they could be. The last factor is stress. Your score in this factor gives insight into your experiences that may possibly be symptoms of stress. Symptoms may be physical, psychological, or behavioral. For physical, there could be nervous arousal or tensed muscles. For psychological, there's difficulty relaxing, which may also be physical and behavioral. Being easily upset or agitated, or being touchy. Being impatient or intolerant of interruption or delay. Or being overreactive. For behavioral, you can get easily startled or become nervy, jumpy, or fidgety. If your results show a higher score in this domain, here are some suggestions you could explore in managing stress. Taking care of yourself by exercising regularly helps release happy hormones that help relieve anxiety and stress. Eating healthily helps obtain the nutrients you need to keep a strong mind and healthy body. And getting through enough sleep contributes to improving your mood, help you perform better in tasks, and have a clearer mind. For example, you can take 20 to 30 minutes of brisk walking. Eat the right food at the right time, or avoid caffeine and or nicotine close to your bedtime. Taking breaks help protect your emotional energy, maintain your performance throughout the day, and lessen your recovery time. For example, you can set a designated time for breaks and follow them diligently. You can stretch, nap, or take social breaks, or chat with friends, etc. Talking to your support system about your feelings can help release heaviness and provide opportunities for reassurance, encouragement, and wisdom you might need. Reconceptualizing thoughts and experiences may be helpful as it changes your perspective through awareness, reflection, and realization of what you need to do. Essentially, this gives you a way to accept that there are things you cannot control, but you can use the situation as a learning curve to challenge yourself and bring about your potential and develop your skills. Cultivating hope by having faith in a higher being also helps us accept that there are things beyond our control and embrace our human experience. Acknowledging small wins to emphasize your progress and how you overcame difficulties. And manifesting positive outcomes instead of focusing on what might go wrong. There are many more coping strategies that you may utilize, and although these coping strategies may help, it is still very much encouraged that you reach out to a professional for further assessment, especially when your results show higher scores in any of the 3 factors. Remember, there is nothing wrong with asking for help. Thank you for watching the interpretation of your personality test results. For elaboration and inquiries, or if you need someone to talk to, feel free to message us on the Guidance Center Facebook page. Our school psychologists, guidance counselors, and psychometricians are more than willing to listen to you. Thank you and have a great day.